All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to do a video on my favorite fighters, and why they're my favorite fighters. Kind of quick, because I'm going golfing for my brother's birthday. Look at how I look. What's up, dude? I did my hair for this video before I'm about to smash it down with my Titleist hat. I'm gonna go shoot a 77 at Poppy Ridge, and then you guys are gonna be like, I don't believe you. I'm gonna show you my scorecard, and you're gonna be like, I still don't believe you because I wasn't there. And I'm gonna be like, fine. Fuck you guys if you don't believe me. Fuck everybody that doesn't believe me. Anyway, so let's run through it. All right, I'm gonna go weight class by weight class. I'll tell you who my favorite fighters in the weight classes are and why. And this is just my favorites, okay? I'm not saying like they're the best or they're whatever. They're just the people I always root for. You will find a common theme with many of them that Mix Molly has done some content on them, because what ties me to a fighter is their story. So in some cases, Mix Molly showed me their story. In other cases, they were already one of my favorite fighters. Then I saw their story and it bolstered it. And in other cases, Mix Molly's never done any content on them, but he's going to. He's going to. In some of these cases, I'm not gonna pull the lid off which they are though, but some of these are coming down the pipe. Anyway, so let's go heavyweight to start. Okay, boom, number one heavyweight for me, DC, okay? I will never root against DC ever again, which is hilarious because when he was fighting John Jones, initially, I was rooting for John Jones. I was always rooting for John Jones because I, as we can probably talk about later on in this video, I relate a lot to John Jones, all right? So when you hear me do a video talking about how John Jones fucked himself and, you know, kind of made himself less valuable through numerous scandals, if you think that's me throwing rocks at his lifestyle, it is not. That is me being objective about his value in the UFC, because I am a reckless, impulsive idiot as well, okay? I mean, I know you wouldn't be able to tell from watching me on camera. You're like, oh no, that guy looks really calm and measured. He would never do anything completely crazy that would fuck his life up, right? I mean, aside from the many things that he's incriminated himself with on YouTube, statute of limitations is passed on all of them though, as far as I know. But yeah, so DC though, he represents he's also a family man like me, who's done everything right, unlike me. He respects hard work, he works hard, he's a badass. And actually, really what it is I want him to beat John Jones so bad that it actually hurts. And that has made him so endearing to me that, like, I love DC, okay? Next heavyweight, Francis Ngannou, okay? I love this guy. And not because, well, partially because he's a human wrecking machine that, you know, people just can't absorb a single punch from, okay? Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm going to use the metaphor that I always use with Francis Ngannou, which is this, okay? The reason why I bet on him versus other people is because there is a certain amount of force that can hit a human being that no human being can absorb. And I believe that Francis Ngannou is the one fighter who is actually generating enough force to mimic something like a construction wrecking ball falling off and there being like a tremendous construction accident. Like, so what I always say is, it's like, okay, so let's say that there's a guy on a construction site and a construction wrecking ball, you know, misses and smashes into a human being. Like, is anybody going, like, you tell that story, they're like, yeah, the wrecking ball hit, you know, smashed this guy. And you're like, well, how's his chin? You know, like, how do you do? Does he have a strong chin? Or is it just like, oh, a construction wrecking ball hit the guy, he's done, right? Like, that's my viewpoint of Francis Ngannou. If he gets in on a punch, he actually doesn't even need to really get on one. But if he gets on one and he hits you square, I don't think there's a human being that can absorb that. I just don't. I don't think there is a single human being that can absorb a direct square shot from Francis Ngannou, and even his partial shots are knockout punches. But his story, the guy is from, I mean, dude, you want to talk about someone who's coming from poverty, just utter, I dropped my phone. How am I going to know who the rest of my favorite fighters are, you guys? Anyway, but, you know, he's coming from, like, just abject poverty, like from the middle of Africa, Cameroon, like living in the dirt, right? Moves to France. He's homeless. That's why when you kind of watch Francis and you listen to him talk and how he talks about the UFC and how he talks about his career, and it seems like he's almost like unaware of he's like simultaneously cocky, but at the same time, kind of like he can't believe. He's like, you know, I think I deserve a title shot. It's like, this is a person who no one looked at his entire life. Like, he was you know, he's a big guy, of course, but he's a homeless guy, right? How does it appear to him? Like, to the rest of the world, they're like, geez, look at this fucking guy. I bet you this guy's a human wrecking ball. But to him, he looks around and he's like, that guy has a car. I don't have a car. That guy has a girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. That guy has a nice watch. I don't have a nice watch. That guy has all of this stuff. I don't have any of these things. So he's looking around at everyone living a much better life than he is, having things he does not have. And that's the way he views the world. I'm telling you, again, going back to the, knowing people, I can read people. And I'm saying he didn't view the world as like when he was growing up, or even when he was a big, like starting to fight. He didn't see it as like, I'm this gifted fighter. He saw the world as like, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. Maybe I'll give this fighting thing a try. Everybody has all this stuff. I don't have any stuff. And now he's made it. And he's still kind of coming to grips with that. That's why when he lost to Stipe, he was so fucked up in the following fight. Is like, there's not a stable, well, not necessarily now, but there wasn't this like rock solid, stable, platform underneath his personality where he can say, okay, I lost one, but I've been fighting for a long time. I've taken losses before. He's like this gifted thing that just boom, 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 everybody goes down. And that was the first time he had faced any adversity in his career. And due to the way that he grew up, he just didn't handle it well. So he's inevitably going to lose again at some point, and I'll be very curious how he handles it. I mean, candidly, I don't really know who would beat him. Because I've been saying, like, I think he's the monster that I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to beat him, actually. I don't even know why I said that. I don't think anyone's going to beat him. Maybe when he gets older, right? I think he beats Stipe. DC might be able to beat him if DC can just avoid getting punched, but I don't think DC is going to fight him. Okay, so light heavyweight, John Jones. I love John Jones. I'll root for DC over John Jones, but only because of the circumstances. But me and John Jones would be terrible influences on each other, but we would have a fucking blast. He and I would laugh all day long. We would literally, he's the kind of guy where we would, anywhere we go, we would have a million common interests and we would laugh our asses off at other people. We just make fun of everybody and just laugh constantly. Okay. Like, so a lot of this is just like people I can tell I would get along with. It's like, it's kind of two-sided. Some of them I really respect their journey and I respect who they are and I respect what they represent. Or like in Francis Ngannou, I'm rooting for him because of where he comes from. John Jones just be my boy. He would be my boy. Anthony Smith, same thing. I can tell I would really get along with Anthony Smith. He's not, he and I would be boys. A little bit different, but I like him a lot. Middleweight, Darren Till, my dude. That's the only one that I feel real passionate about. Like, so I'll actually kind of notate when there are people that I passionately root for. Okay, DC is one of those now. That's the only one so far. And then Darren Till. Okay. I passionately root for Darren Till. I really deeply want him to win. And I really want him to be the champion. Like, I have a big emotional investment in his success and it really hurts when he loses. I don't like when he loses at all, even though his most recent loss was to one of my other passionately favorite fighters. So we'll go there now. So welterweight, I've got a few. Okay. So the only one that I feel like where I'm really rooting for him, like fucking really rooting for him, is Jorge. I love that motherfucker, dude. I love that motjorfucker. That's why the idea of him being pissed at me because I exposed the fact that I don't think him and Colby's beef is real, that is a nightmare scenario for me. And I just want to reiterate, every time that I even bring that up, if my channel was bigger, I really would not even talk about the fact that I think their beef is fake, because I tend to be 100% right about these things, like, all the time. But I wouldn't even bring it up. I literally wouldn't even bring it up if I was a bigger channel. So Jorge, if you see this, you're literally my favorite fighter at middleweight, maybe my favorite fighter per the entire UFC. So don't be mad at me, all right? Plus, if the beef's real, then, who cares if some guy said it's not real? What do you care? Me and Jorge get along real well. Also at welterweight, now I'm rooting for Burns. 100%. Not because I have any insight into his background or I feel passionately about him as a person, whatever. It's just because I'm picking him to be the next champion, and so I'm basically rooting for myself to look like the best analyst in the fucking world, which I am, son. The GOAT talking about motherfucking MMA. You guys are going to learn that real quick when all of a sudden every single fucking thing I say starts being right. You're like, Jesus, Conor really doesn't manage his own Twitter? No one else talked about that. Jesse on Fire got it. Fuck. Colby and Masvidal's beef really was fake? Wow, no one was talking about that. As a matter of fact, everyone was trying to bolster it. Fuck, he's good. So anyway, yeah, I want Burns to be the champion for that reason, right? And then Colby, I root for now because I have so much respect for his ability to do what he does. Like, do you guys honestly think that he walks around in a fucking $75 blue suit with a Trump hat on all the time? No. Okay, it's a shtick, obviously. But the bottom line is he makes everyone hate him on purpose. All the fans, okay? Again, I don't believe these beefs are fake. I think that it's very coincidental that all of his most visible beefs are with people who he was previously best friends with, that he lived with, right? Now, if that's not curious to you guys, then I don't know what is. Because in order for that to seem real, then he would actually have to be like the biggest asshole ever. And if you've seen him with his mask off, like go watch him when he was on the Candace Owens interview. Does he seem like a real prick there? He's being super respectful because she's a girl that he respects and it's not fighting, right? And he's just openly like, yeah, I just did da-da-da-da. Okay, he's not a person who's going to have open beef with everybody he used to be best friends with, okay? What's much more likely is he's such good friends with all these guys that all of them are going to help support his career by saying that they fucking hate him because he's playing a shtick where he makes everyone, the crowd hates him because everybody hates Colby. Once I realized it was a shtick and I actually paid attention, I'm like, dude, this guy's walking into these fucking arenas knowing everyone there is rooting for him to lose. That is so fucking gangster to me. So gangster. Now, I will say, when I was talking about this, the only other time I ever brought this up, I was saying how, like, wow, I can't believe that he can do that. That would mind fuck me. But then while I was talking about it and I was actually going through it in my mind of being in Colby's position and having everyone hate you, I retracted it, and I still retract it, actually. I think that it gives you a mental edge, actually. Knowing everyone hates you, it's not, okay, knowing everyone hates you is not the same thing as everyone's rooting for the other guy, okay? So that is something that would be very challenging for me, okay? Like knowing that everyone in the crowd is like fighting Connor in Ireland, fighting Darren Till in fucking in Liverpool, like Masvidal did, and starched him. The most gangster shit ever in his comeback fight. Fucking unreal. But knowing that the whole crowd is behind the other guy passionately, that would fuck with me a little bit, where I'm like, Jesus, like, everyone here wants this guy to win. It is different than everyone here wants you to lose. Okay, there's two completely different things. Completely. Okay, so everybody's rooting for him to win. That would mind fuck me. But everybody's rooting for me to lose. That's different. Okay, they don't give a fuck about this guy. If they're just rooting for me to lose, all that does is takes all the pressure off of me. Okay, it takes all the pressure off me. If I lose, everybody gets what they want, right? Okay, if everybody's rooting for you, that's the real pressure, right? Like that's the fucking real pressure. Like Aldo, like what Connor tries to do to people. That's why he tries to make it the biggest thing in the world, right? Like for people where that's the right approach. With Cowboy, he knows, hey, I'll soften him up. I'll tell him he's got a great python skin fucking hat or whatever the fuck he's doing. Because, then Cowboy will come in like, hey man, let's shake hands. And Connor's like, totally. Bah! Right? But like with most people, like what he tried to do with Khabib, make it about everything. Make it about Islam. Make it about fucking Dagestan. Make it about Russia. Make it about everything. He tried that with Khabib, and Khabib's the one guy where that shit did not work, man. That's why Khabib is also on my list, but we'll get there. But with like Aldo, it was like he knows Aldo comes from nothing. Aldo's surprised, like he's seen these videos. He's seen all the things that we've seen, right? Connor has seen all the videos we've seen. And like, something Mix Molly actually specifically cited in the video about Ronda, where it's like Ronda Rousey, that's all, folks. And he's talking about Amanda Nunes, and he's making a point about how she has the aura of someone who's like surprised that she's even here. Like she never dreamed that she would attain the heights that she has. And he pointed to a video of Jose Aldo when Jose Aldo was buying his first suit, and Jose Aldo's like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe it. And he laughs and laughs and laughs, right? And it's like a great heartwarming video to everyone who is not a psychological predator like me or like Connor, okay? Like, again, we'll get to Connor, but I understand Connor because he has emotional intelligence on my level, like where I can look at photographs of people and I can tell you and be like, oh, this person, this guy's probably cheated on every single girl he's ever dated in his entire life, and actually would get mad at the girl for confronting him if she caught him. Like he'd be actually angry at her because he's a narcissistic, self-centered piece of shit. From looking at a photograph of a guy's face, I can tell that kind of thing, okay? So what I see when I see Jose Aldo and he's like, oh my gosh, look at me in my suit, right? It's awesome, right? As a viewer, it's awesome. But if I'm looking at him as an opponent, all I see is I'm like, this is a person who never expected to be here, right? This is a person who's never expected to be here, which means that the strength that is around him is breakable, right? It's breakable. So I'm going to pile this on. You are fighting for your entire fucking country, and you never expected to be here. Not like me. Not like me. Not like Conor McGregor. I always knew I was going to be here. I've been mentally preparing for this moment every night of my life. You surprise yourself. It's a very different thing. You're not mentally prepared to deal with the onslaught of fucking pressure of everyone expecting you to win and then needing you to win because they hate me so much. You're not going to be able to deal with it. I'm going to start you in 13 seconds. Khabib has known he's going to be a champion his entire fucking life, right? His entire life. And so Khabib is a piece of fucking steel where Conor tries to put it all on him the way that Conor does, and he runs into a brick wall, right? Okay? Conor and Khabib are the same in the fact that both of them are exactly where they expected to be. Exactly where they expected to be. And so now they're two brick walls smashing into each other. That's why I love both of these guys, and their rivalry is the best thing ever. Ever. And then you throw, so wait, where did I leave off? I just got way off. Oh, I was talking about Colby. Okay, now we're at lightweight, so I'm talking about Conor, Khabib, and Gaethje. Those are my three guys, okay? But Conor and Khabib I root for. Conor very passionately because I relate to him so much, like so much. Khabib, like that's why I see through what Conor's doing. I understand him because he's looking at these guys like I am. Like I'm saying, he watches that Aldo video. Everyone else goes, "Oh, that's cute. He's got his new suit. That's so great, man." Dude, that just gets you right there. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome." And then I'm looking at it if I'm his opponent, and I'm like, I could break that guy. Just from that video, I see exactly what Conor saw and why he knew piling that pressure on was going to work from that video. Okay, and then Khabib again. An unbreakable piece of steel. I fucking love Khabib, man. Like that guy, and I can say this with 100% certainty. I owe how passionately I like Khabib to Mixed Molly Whoppery for sure. If you guys have not watched his series on fucking Khabib, get on it, dude. Get the fuck on it. Like you can see what Conor is without, I mean, he does an incredible job of covering Conor throughout Conor's career. But Khabib, it is a mystery that Mixed Molly has like lifted the curtain on, where you're like, I mean, like completely, like this, exactly who he is. Like I know exactly who fucking Khabib is. Absolutely. I mean, he's also a very simple person in terms of he is unbreakable on this, he's unbreakable on this, he's unbreakable on this, and he's regimented and disciplined, and that is his life, right? And I mean, I'm saying simple in the most complimentary way that I could possibly say it, right? Conor is complicated. I'm complicated. I relate to Conor. I understand, right? He's capable of unbelievable heights when he's focused. He's a guy who is living, he romanticizes the things that he is involved in on a level that most people couldn't understand, but I do. You're living your own movie, and it's like you can see anything any way that you want. As an example, I'll give you a perfect fucking example, okay? So I talked to, I won't give their name, but I was like, a few weeks ago, I was talking to a very large media brand, okay, a sports brand. And I was talking to them about going on and then kind of doing like a one-on-one interview, right? And they were going to charge me $10K to do it, right? Very expensive. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, can I justify this spend, right? Now, most people would look at that and go, okay, what's my likely return on investment here? Like, what's my likely return? Like, I'm going to put in $10K. What am I going to get out of it in terms of number of subscribers, number of new followers, etc., right? That's how a regular person would look at it, okay? The way I look at it and the way Conor would look at it is like, 10K is a huge spend. It's not something I can't afford, but it's a big enough spend that it would be the biggest spend I had ever made on something like this, where I was just like rolling the dice, putting myself in the ring where I can be seen, and basically betting on myself, right? What am I doing right now? Like, what am I doing? You think I'm posting all these videos online every single day because I don't have like a larger plan? I just like talking into the camera. Okay. I have a goal in mind, which is for this to be my fucking career, to be a world globally known brand, Jesse on Fire. Okay. This is the early stages of what is that, right? And so that $10,000 spend, I can romanticize that in my mind and say, this is the moment where I bet on myself, right? I bet on myself. I prepared. I knew what I was going to talk about. I came in with one of the largest fucking personalities there is that would outshine anyone. I've watched them outshine everyone that they've ever been on camera with. And I'll fucking and I will come, I'll perform, I won't fold under pressure, and I'll fucking deliver, and it'll be not only worth it, but it'll catapult my career into where I want it to go. Okay? So that it's a way of being analytical versus romanticizing the things that you do. And Conor lives in the romanticizing way, just like I do, right? So anyway, tangent that I brought myself into just because I'm trying to illustrate how I understand the way that he thinks, because that's how he thinks. Anyway, Gaethje, I root for because he's like Khabib, actually, except not exactly like Khabib, because he doesn't romanticize the championship thing. Like Khabib still has Khabib does romanticize that I want to be the world champion. That's what I want to do. That's who I'm going to be. Gaethje just loves to fight, and he's a grinder. His dad worked for 37 fucking years at a copper mine, right? Day in, day out, work. That's Gaethje. And I have so much respect for that, because that's not something that I have. The like, go do something you don't like doing every day because that's what your responsibilities are. Like I would just fucking claw my way through it, just like, fuck. Feeling sorry for myself the entire time, right? Like there are some people where if you put them in a ring where they're doing something that they're passionate about and they are a fucking flower that will blossom, and you put them somewhere where they're doing something they don't want to do and they dry up and die. That's what I'm like. Okay. Gaethje's a guy where it doesn't matter where you put him. He's going to just fucking work. And I have a lot of respect for that. Tremendous amount of respect for that. But I don't root for him passionately like I do Khabib and Conor. Although I will be rooting for Gaethje against Khabib for the same reason as I'm rooting for Burns, because I've been predicting that he's going to beat Khabib for a long time, and I don't think anybody else is going to predict that. So, and I predicted that before he fought Tony, and I can prove it, obviously. It's on TikTok from February. And then at 145, I have no one right now. There's no one I feel super passionately about at 145. At 135, Aldo. I love fucking Aldo, man. I love that guy. That was actually so I had not transitioned from hating Conor to Conor being my favorite fighter yet when he fought Aldo, okay? That was still when I was like, fuck this loudmouth asshole. And I've gone through this before, but my transition from hating Conor to loving Conor was at the Nate Diaz fight. After he lost the Nate Diaz fight and then he refused to do any press, he demanded that he get a rematch at 170. Keep in mind, 2 weight classes up from where he had fought his entire career at the UFC thus far. And he did a blackout on media and he beat Nate Diaz. And I was like, a complete 180. And that's when I was like, wow. And that completely sold on him at that point. Because I got to also watch him lose. But anyway, Aldo, watching him lose that fight was fucking horrifying for me. He's been my favorite fighter. I was in San Diego. I lived in San Diego in 2000, from like 2005 to like 2010. And in around 2007, I think, Jose Aldo was fighting in WEC. And I went to go see it at the San Diego arena, and he jump knee knocked out this dude in like 8 or 13 seconds. Like just basically, it was literally like a Jorge Masvidal to Ben Askren type knockout. It was just maybe like a little longer, maybe 12 seconds. And then he ran up into the crowd. You could probably find it if you look it up on YouTube. And he ran up and he ran right by us. And I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And I just loved him ever since then. And then he became the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. After, like, I knew who he was when he was in WEC because of that fight, and I was physically there, and he ran right by me. But, yeah, I fucking love Aldo, man. I really hope he gets to be champion at 135. I would cheer like a fucking banshee. Peter Yan is a beast, though. But my number one guy at 135 is Cody Garbrandt. I fucking love that guy, man. And I can't even really put my finger on it. I love people that are just so fucking genuine that they can't help it. Like, I think, you look at me and I'll do, and I'll be like, hey, but hopefully you guys can tell that, like, actually being fake is impossible to me. It's not something I can do. I can't say things I don't mean. I just can't do it. It's not a thing that I'm capable of. And Cody Garbrandt is that. You could see that, like, him saying, even like verbalizing an opinion that's not his actual opinion would be painful, like physically painful for him. And I fucking love that. He and I would be boys. Like, boys. Will be boys. He also loves Gucci, so he's got fucking excellent taste, just like me. And then I fucking love Triple C. I love Triple C. I called that Triple C was, okay, so the first fight when Triple C came back and he had the Conor McGregor karate setup, I watched that fight. I called my buddy Christian, and Christian can attest to this. And I said, he's going to be the 125 pound champ. He's going to beat, my goodness, the number one pound for pound fighter forever, 125 pounds now in one. Jesus, what is wrong with me? This is embarrassing. Demetrius Johnson, that was fucking bizarre. Anywho, I said he's going to beat him. Watch in the ring. And he had already gotten knocked out by Demetrius in the first round with that knee to the body. And I said, I'm like, he's going to come back. He's going to win. I didn't see him going up to 135 and winning that too. But goddamn, he's a beast. I fucking love Triple C. He's going to come back, and hopefully sooner rather than later. Now, females, love Amanda Nunes. Love her. Not like super passionate, but girls, I got to close this fucking video out because I got to go golf. But Rose Namajunas will always be my one and only favorite fighter on the girls' side. And I'll tell you what did it for me right off the bat. When I learned that she shaved her head, and she said she did it because her hair was getting in her way at practice. Why'd you shave your head? My hair was getting in my way at practice. And I was like, so like she's so singularly focused on fighting that she shaved her fucking head as a girl. I was like, sold. Then I started paying attention, and then go watch Mixed Molly's The Journey. If you haven't ever seen Rose Namajunas The Journey on Mixed Molly Wapari's channel, okay, like fucking cancel your plans today and just go watch that like immediately. It's like it's a fucking masterpiece. A masterpiece. I was literally watching it this morning, actually. As a matter of fact, I'm going to finish what I was watching right now, again for the 100th time on my way to the golf course. So anyway, that is my list, all my favorite fighters. I would have gone through my least favorite fighters, not like, but I don't really have people like that are my least favorite fighters. I respect anyone who gets in the cage and bangs. Anyone. Even if they're assholes. But I was going to kind of go through people I think are assholes. But I'll do that in another video. If you love the channel, subscribe or ring the bell, forward this to your friends. I'm serious, okay? Now, at a certain point here, I'm going to upgrade my studio. I'm going to have incredible looking stuff. But either way, content's going to be the same. I'm going to be saying the exact same shit. It's just going to look a little bit different, but you guys know. It's not going to be any better or worse. You're just going to be like, fuck, man. Jesse's got a new studio. That's cool. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Subscribe, ring the bell. I love you guys. Thank you.